Let's go. Within 24 hours, I managed to go from finishing last 1 minute off of the next car all the way to winning my first race of the week. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, RufffWizard, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you will, are having, or have had a wonderful day. You heard that right. After using my R4 system, I managed to get myself a top 1000 time in the world, 864 in the world. Let's go. As well as getting my first race win of the week after struggling mightily on day one. So for this one, we're going to lock into the race and the strategy that saw me get that first win. Umberto Lorenzo already counting me out. I guess they did from the grid last race because I crashed on the second lap. Not this time. Alright, let's see if we can make it to the pit stop without crashing. Umberto's gone. Dang, they must have got disconnected by accident. This week we're back in Daily Race C and we have for you a 9-lap Group 4 2-stint race at Circuit de St. Croix. We'll be seeing both the racing hard and the racing medium be used, and tyre wear will come into play, but more on that in a little bit. Alright, I'm not at the best first sector here. Let's see if I can rein in for the second one. A little bit about the strategy here. The tyre wear isn't egregious, so you do want to put the mediums on for your longer stint. We've opted to run the hards first and then go on to the mediums, but that's definitely not the popular strategy when you're running from the front of the grid. If I remember rightly, if Lorenzo's doing what they did in the last race, they're going to be running mediums right now. Which is fine by me. And I'm going to learn, if we can keep it on track, whether doing the early pit or the late pit is a better race strategy when you're at the front of the grid. Right, I've got to have a better run through here this time. That's definitely better, although these hards, they definitely understeer a lot more than those mediums. But if we can hang on to Lorenzo, assuming they're on mediums, this is going to work out for us, hopefully. Hoping we don't come into traffic when we come in off the pit. With Lorenzo seemingly being on the mediums, there's only two things that can really get in our way now. That's if Lorenzo builds a big gap that we then have to catch up on later, or if once we pit, we come out into traffic that slows us down. Alright, he's broken the slip. Let's see if we can gain back a little bit of time here. Don't overdrive though. That wasn't the best run through there. If he's on hards, then touche. This is a great time to remind you that after this race, we will be going to our RufffWizard Daily Race Awards, where we'll be looking for the nominees and winners of the best overtake, the best livery, and unfortunately, the most unlucky moment. Stick around to the end to see who our lucky winners are. So this is going to be a race of strategy, I think. We're making our way to the last sector before our pit stop, so now we need to keep the gap to the lead as small as possible. Can we keep it down to the 1.8 something? Ooh, I don't know. 1.8, okay. I'll take that. Not factoring in this corner because we're going into the pits as well. I hope that's not a penalty. Let's see. No penalty. Perfect. Checking our mirrors. We're good to go. Alright, we got no one near us. Front or back. Perfect. Let's pump some laps in. If you are enjoying this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would give it a like. If you want to see more in the future, you can hit that subscribe, and don't forget, if you hit the bell, you'll get notified when new content comes out. Alright, we're 19 to the lead. What was the pit loss? Well, we'll see when we finish this lap. We'll do a bit of quick maths. With the clear difference in strategies, that means we were expecting a 3-lap delta between pit stops, so it's going to take some time to see how things are going to shake out. Our only focus now is to put in good lap times to make sure that we're in the best position possible. So it's going to take a good couple of laps before this sort of the story really unveils itself here. As long as we can keep good laps coming in. So they did an overcut on the hards. Interesting. Cars behind me did. Don't tell me they're coming out on hards after only running mediums for a few laps. I didn't see what they came out on. I hope that was mediums that they came out on for their sake. So I think right now it's advantage Lorenzo. It looked like about a 16-second pit loss, and they're up by 18 seconds. So I'm still down. I need to make up time. And they're going to be coming out on fresh tyres, and mine are going to be worn. But they are going to be fresh hards. Mine are going to be worn mediums. Oh, not ideal. Lost some time there. Okay, let's just focus on the laps now. Oh, Lorenzo's in the pits. Dang it, didn't get enough time. But that means they're also going to be running hards for 4 laps. Hopefully, I've got enough life left in these tyres that I can gain on them. Interesting how they're going to play it. Let's go. Alright. Now it's a game of can I hold on to these tyres. As you can see, we've resumed the lead, and although we're on the faster tyre, we're definitely on the more worn tyre, so there's no room for complacency. I need to build this gap because his tyre warm-up's going to be real. And these tyres are going to hurt more and more, which is going to compromise my times, my lap times. And I need to get him away from the slip. This race is far from over. I'm being a little bit cautious right now because I'm a bit scarred by earlier races and what can happen. Oh no. Opportunity to build a bit of a cushion there, lost. I'm going to have to do it through this first sector. Before we get to that back straight, I need to get it over a second. The slipstream on the back straight on this track is extremely powerful, so we know if Lorenzo is within 1 second, it's going to give them the opportunity and, more importantly, the confidence to attack. So we want to avoid that if we can. No, he's still close. Close enough that he can put a charge on me. Still got 2 more laps to go. I was low-key hoping this was lap 8. Do not touch that gravel, just like they did, because that's what happens. It looks like Lorenzo had to make a slight correction mid-corner, which saw them go into the gravel. Unfortunately, that means they lost the grip on P2. However, Benman is the fastest on track, and they're the ones now hunting us down. Race is definitely still not over. 2 laps to go. Can we keep it on the track? And the difference between Lorenzo and the car behind me now is I'm pretty sure they are on mediums, whereas Lorenzo wasn't. And right now, I'm not putting in good lines. 2 seconds can come down very quickly if I'm not careful. Taking things a little bit cautiously. I can afford to give up roughly a second a lap. To be fair to Lorenzo, good job on hanging on to P3 considering that off. Taking that very wide. Can't get fully on the throttle, which has cost me. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Last lap. Not very pretty through that. Definitely lost a couple of tenths. This feels like the longest last lap in the world. Let's go. Let's go. Bring it home. We will take that and run. And there we have it, definitive proof that you should be running the hards first. Right? Well, not exactly. That happened to work for this race, but I'm sure different strategies will work in different scenarios. I'm just happy that I got to walk away with the win this time. But anyway, let's move on to my favorite part of the week, the RufffWizard Daily Race Awards. And as always, we're going to start with Best Overtake. So our first nominee is going to be Benman. Straight off the start line and into turn 1, Benman calmly navigates a couple of slower exits and secures themselves P3, putting them in prime position to take advantage later in the race. Our second nominee is Wonjon. Coming into the last corner, Wonjon takes a tight line on the inside, threading themselves nicely into the line of cars and securing themselves P8 in the process. And our third and final nominee is Mo Supernova. On the entry into the bridge, Mo finds themselves taking a jump to the left and then having to swing the car hard back to the right so they can safely get around and secure themselves P4. And the winner of Best Overtake is... it's Mo Supernova. So if you've raced this track, you'll know what it's like when you have that jump on the entry into the bridge. It's hard enough sometimes to avoid the barrier itself, but to have to swing the car even further around to get around a car at the same time, that's got to be rewarded in my book. So well done, Mo Supernova. You are this week's winner of Best Overtake. Moving on to our next award, Best Livery. Quick heads up, this one appears to be the battle of the foods. So our first nominee and back again is Mo Supernova. With a classic Erie, we have the Campbell Tomato Soup livery. Like all the interiors liveries a standout among the crowd. And our second nominee is Jamo. Playing with the lines of the car, this double-decker livery is definitely striking and also accentuates the car beautifully. And then our third and final nominee is SimRob7. With an unmistakable nod to Flake, there's not much else to say other than this livery achieves exactly what it intended to do. And our winner of Best Food Livery is... it's Jamo. Not just because the name almost sounds like a food itself, but also because this livery not only stands out, has striking colors, clearly dedicated to food, but also the way that it's composed plays with the shape of the car, giving it almost a look of a different vehicle itself. So well done, Jamo, you are this week's winner of Best Livery. And then moving on to our last award, we are looking at the most unlucky moment. Now traditionally with this award, there are no nominees and we jump straight to the winner. However, this week, I'm afraid I'm going to have to cancel this award. Why, RufffWizard? Why are you doing that? So for this award, I'm always looking for a situation that is not self-inflicted and significantly hampers or completely ruins your race. And unfortunately, most incidents were self-inflicted, except for the ones involving two specific cars. For a heads up, in these clips, I'm going to refer to them as grey and green, because what we're about to see, I do not think deserves name recognition. So it starts off with what looks like possibly incidental contact by green sending grey to the back of the grid. Clearly grey saw red, they didn't take kindly to this, and they made sure at the first opportunity that they got some retaliation, and they made sure that green felt it. But apparently they weren't done. So at this point I'm thinking maybe green is the unlucky driver, causing incidental contact to someone who wants to put a target on their back. But then green went ahead and... and of course, grey was not going to leave it there, and they got their own back yet again. So this week's award for most unlucky moment has been officially cancelled, and we've all learned a lesson: do not drive like grey and green. Anyway, that's all I have for you this week. How do we feel about the cancelled award? And what about the other award winners? Let me know in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like. If you want to see more in the future, subscribe. If you feel like you're ready for some more right now, I've got a couple of options here. I'm out.